Following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Why, hi there, I'm Ron Juckett. Welcome to the broadcast today, August 7th, 1978, or June 18th, 2020. Whatever you'd like to do, or whatever you feel like. So today, we got a good one for you. We got the San Diego Padres and the Los Angeles Dodgers opening up a 3-game set at Dodger Stadium. It'll be Tommy John for the Dodgers and Bob Ochinko for the Padres. And so that's what we got for you today. Tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, the opening round of our all-time great United States Open Championship from Winged Foot just outside of New York City. And tonight's feature group, Bobby Jones, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger Woods, the 3 winningest USGA champions ever for the men. So you got baseball today and golf tonight. Either way you slice it, it should be a pretty good day. Stay hydrated. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball Replay 1978. Today, from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, it's the first place Los Angeles Dodgers against the third place San Diego Padres. And our sponsors today, Colonial Meat Products, proud makers of the Fenway Frank, the best ballpark hot dogs ever. And by DigitalDice.com, the best podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, or iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. How you doing, Stardog? Yeah, RBC Heritage is what the Real Tour is doing this week. This should be the U.S. Open. So, where are you from, Stardog? Tommy John, by the way, as Stardog tells us that, is 7-10. Indiana, okay. Larry Bird territory. So John is 7-10 with a 4.41 ERA. This is his 23rd start of the year. Against the Padres, he's made 3 starts, 20 innings, 21 hits, 8 runs, 5 earned. He's walked 6 and struck out 12. His record is 2-1 with an ERA of 2.25. And if that doesn't give the Dodgers some hope, I don't know what else will. His last time out was against the Padres on the 2nd down in San Diego, where he lost. 7 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, only 2 earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. So over 143 innings, John has allowed 166 hits, 10 homers, 81 runs, 70 earned. The defense behind him has not been great. 52 walks, 76 strikeouts, and that fastball tops out at 84, and he's a ground ball plus pitcher. And this will be the lineup he'll face. Ozzie Smith, the Harry Potter at shortstop, will lead it off. Darryl Thomas will bat second and play center field. Reynolds is in left. He'll hit third. Gene Tennis cleans up behind the plate. Oscar Gamble in right will go fifth. Tucker Ashford at first will bat sixth. Fernando Gonzalez at second will bat seventh. Billy Allman at third will bat eighth. And Bob Ochinko is on the mound and he'll bat ninth. Jamie, Big Clue, Lorenzo, good morning, good afternoon. So here's the defense for the Dodgers. Dusty Baker is 7 and a 4 in left. Reggie Smith has a 3 range but an 8 arm. And Lee Lacy's in right, a 5 and a 6. Ron Cey is a 7 at third. Bill Russell an 8 at short. Davey Lopes a 10 at second. Steve Garvey a 9 at first. Joe Ferguson behind the plate. He's a 6 and a 4. John, not a bad fielder. He's an 8 with a 9.47 fielding percentage. Some of this one you're looking at is the default one for Dodger Stadium. You want to go back into the Wayback Machine in the Internet Archive and look up PCBallpark.com. That has a lot of good ones too. What year are you thinking of doing? And Lorenzo, there's only 4 people watching, so let's not be The ratings here are not stupendous. Ozzie Smith, by the way, steps in at 284, a homer and 36 RBI. Then all the ballparks you need are right there. I'm looking at it. It says 4. Do I play in? Saying Garvey, play for the bunt. And John got the Wizard to swing and miss at a 1-2 fastball. You picked up the 75 season to go with the 74 season. To go with red, so you can relive Red Glory. That's right, because 74 was one of the seasons that was in the deluxe package. Daryl Thomas, that's who that is, at 208, 2 homers, 29 RBI. Pitch to Thomas is a liner to right field. It's going to drop in front of Lacey. And that's a base hit. So 1 out and 1 out for Don Reynolds, who was at 277. No homers and 2 RBI. 89 degrees at Chavez Ravine and no wind. And the ballpark is playing small. Pitch to Reynolds is a ground ball to Russell. Over to first, Garvey on the bag, and that is an out. How you doing, Mr. Forsberg? So 2 out for Gene Tennis at 218, 9 homers, and 44 RBI. Thomas on second. Just the top start of the things. Yes. Jamie, for sure. Some stadiums, it is hard to find the good photos from a certain thing. Life is good for Lorenzo. Go Padres. Pitch to Tennis. Ball 4. So runners on first and second for Gamble at 287, 3 homers and 46 RBI. Oscar is sitting on an 8-game hitting streak. John throwing a lot of pitches in the first. From the stretch, up the middle, but Smith should be there, and he is. So no runs, 1 hit in the Padres strand 2. We go to the bottom of the first. San Diego nothing. Here come the Dodgers. Bob Ochinko would like the season to be over with. He is 4-15 with an ERA of 5.29. Making his 24th start of the year. He's gone against the Dodgers three times now. 13 in the third innings, 11 hits, 9 runs, 6 earned. He's walked 8 and struck out 4. He has beaten the Dodgers once, and the Dodgers beat him with an ERA of 4.05. In fact, that last start was a win against the Dodgers on August 2nd. 7 innings, 3 runs, 3 hits. None of those runs were earned, by the way. He has walked 2 and struck out 2. The lefty has thrown 132 and 2/3 innings, 146 hits, 18 homers, which is more than he gave up in real life. 92 runs, 78 earned, 57 walks, 47 strikeouts, and that fastball tops out at 88. And Bob is putting the ow in Ochinko. Absolutely. Your Bulldog attorney suing the pants off you. All is well, Lorenzo. Thanks for asking. So Ashford and Allman play in for the bunt. Here's how the Dodgers will line up. Davey Lopes at second will lead it off. Bill Russell at short will bat second. Reggie Smith is in center, not right field. He'll go third. Ron Cey cleans up at third. Steve Garvey at first will bat fifth. Dusty Baker in left field will bat sixth. Lee Lacey in right will go seventh. Joe Ferguson behind the plate will bat eighth, and Tommy John, who threw 22 pitches in the first, will go ninth. That's a pretty good offensive lineup for the Dodgers. Don Reynolds, who I've never heard of until today, is a 2 and a 5 in left. Daryl Thomas is a 7 and 7 in center. Oscar Gamble is a 6 and 9 in right. Ozzie Smith is not quite the Wizard yet. He's a 9 at short. Gonzalez is a 5 at second. Ashford, not a good first baseman. He's a 2. Allman, we'll tell you about in a minute. And Tennis is a 5 and a 6 behind the plate. Where is Simpson? Look at Lopes is dead on real. Yeah, it is. And he's absolutely right. 278, 14 homers, and 45 RBI. Ochenko, by the way, is an 8 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. Lopes is going to swing, and there's a little number down to Allman, who's an 8. Over to Ashford for the out. So Allman had it played perfectly, and that's how this one starts for the Dodgers. Batting averages here, 344 in this at-bat. Russell's hitting 262, a homer, and 39 RBI. Dodgers, game number 112. And for the Padres, it's also game number 112. In the center, Thomas, 2 out. Brings up Reggie Smith at 287, 17 homers, and 61 RBI. He's kind of underperformed. He only has 100 more at-bats. 50 games to go. Dodgers lead is 3.5. And it's in the center. Thomas will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Dodgers go in order. We've played 1, no score. The music group, Ashford and Simpson. Well, that was a solid joke like a rock. I like that one. Tucker Ashford at 195, 2 homers and 12 RBI. John starts the second with a ground ball to Lopes. Davey throws to first for the out. Fernando Gonzalez at 234, a homer and 26 RBI. From the wind, up the middle, Russell with a fantastic stop by the bag, throws to Garvey for the out. So 2 quick outs for Billy Allman, who was born a rambling man at 223, a triple, and 22 RBI. John kicks and deals, and there's a fly ball left center field. Smith does not possess great range, but he makes the catch. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Inning and a half in the books. San Diego nothing, the Dodgers nothing. So Say, Garvey, and Baker to face Ochenko here in the second. Say at 250, 17 homers, and 61 RBI. Ochenko delivers, strike 3. Got him with a changeup on a full count. The mighty Dodgers have had 18 rookies of the year. Yep, they've produced well. Here's Garvey at 314, 16 homers and 78 RBI. In the left, Reynolds, just before the track, 2 out. Brings up Baker, Dusty at 277, 8 homers and 45 RBI. And Lasorda was very good with his rookies. That's for sure. Ball 4. So the first base runner for the Dodgers, and that'll bring up Lee Lacy at 281, 11 homers and 37 RBI. Throw to first, Baker back. 2 out, no score. Bottom of the second. In the left, Reynolds in the corner makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the third. It's the Padres nothing, the Dodgers nothing. Well, the Dodgers are a very good team at home. They're 32-18 and hold a 3.5 game lead over the Reds. San Diego is a hard charging squad. Big series for them. They're 6 back. And they've passed Houston for third of the National League West. In the East, Pittsburgh losing that doubleheader at home yesterday has the Phillies up by 3. In the American League, the Rangers continue to overachieve. They lead Kansas City by half a game, California by 2.5. And the Yankees have struggled, but they lead Milwaukee and Baltimore by half a game. Ochenko at 108 and 2 RBI. Pitch from John, and there's a ground ball base hit left side. And that's the second hit for the Padres. You know, you talk about that. The Dodgers, only team they have a losing record against in the National League are the Pirates, who's swept them all 12 games. But we talked about this before. In 1988, the Mets won 10 of 11 against the Dodgers and lost in 7 games. So 9 batters deep for John, 32 pitches, 2+ innings, 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Ozzie Smith struck out to start the ballgame. He drops a bunt. Ferguson has it, throws it to Lopes covering for the first out. So Ochinko is on second. Darryl Thomas singled his first time up. A pitch into left center. Reggie Smith will make the catch for the out. Ochinko will hold, and there's 2 out. So you just never know what would happen in a best-of-5 series. Don Reynolds, by the way, is 0 for 1. And there's a ground ball to Russell over to Garvey, and that will retire the side. So the Padres go quietly, except for the hit in the third. When you go to the bottom of the inning, there's still no score. So Ferguson, John, and Lopes to face Ochinko. Ferguson, since coming over from Houston, at 177 with 6 RBI. Well, I'll show this again. You've seen it. But if you go by run differential, which I think is probably the best easy indication of how good a team is, the Dodgers clearly have the class of the National League West. Philly and Pittsburgh too close to call, so I would say Philly, the season ended soon. Texas actually has the best run differential in the American League West. And Baltimore does in the East. The Yankees, of course, 63 and 47, but their run differential is 17. And they're barely a 500 team at home. Other things to look out: 1-run records, 19 and 13 for the Dodgers. San Diego, 24 and 14 in 1-run games. Pittsburgh does not play well 1-run games. They're 12 and 17. Ballparks are supposed to be in the initial download. I mean, Lorenzo, I've never seen anything quite like what the Pirates did to the Dodgers this year. Ferguson is at 1. I gave you his numbers already. Pitch from Ochinko is a base hit. The best laid plans of mice and men, and Ferguson's on with a single. So the first hit for the Dodgers. And so Ashford and Allman will play for the bunt. John, by the way, hitting .079 with an RBI. That's 3 for 38. He squares. The bunt is down. Tennis over to Gonzalez for the out. So the sack works. 2-4, 1 out for Lopes, who's 0 for 1. Ochinko, 9 batters, 2 in the third innings, 38 pitches. A hit, a walk, and a strikeout. That's a lot of pitches. Pitch to Lopes. Liner to right. Gamble makes the catch. Throws to second. Ferguson got back. Ferguson kind of got cute. Gamble's got a good arm, and there's 2 out. Brings up Russ, who's 0 for 1. Ochinko deals. Ball 4. So runners on first and second for Reggie Smith, who's 0 for 1. Stardog, the folder that everything gets unzipped to inside the app. So when you install it, everything goes in the right spot. Anything you add later goes into your DK data folder, which is separate from where the game is installed. And it will be right on the C drive. And then it's broken down by sport. If you search my YouTube channel, there's quite a few videos on where the mods go. Pitch to Smith, who's 0 for 1. into left field. Reynolds will come in and make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The Dodgers have stranded 3. Well, you got to unzip them first, but the regular ballparks like this one comes with the game. You're not interrupting. That's what we're here for. That's why we do these live. So no runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the 4th, no score. So Tennis walked his first time up, cooled off a degree, and not a breath of wind. 88 degrees. There's a base hit up the middle. Lopes couldn't get there. And that'll bring up Gamble, who's 0 for 1. He's sitting on an 8-game hitting streak. Ashford on deck. Pitch. And there's a ground ball base hit right side. Lacey will grab it. Tennis will hold at second. And runners on first and second with nobody out. Oh yeah, the default for in the game is Camden Yards. Now the ballpark effects aren't Camden Yards. It'll play like Dodger Stadium even if it looks like Camden Yards. But not even I can be say a funny and think that Camden Yards is better than Dodger Stadium, because it's not. Always like Dodger Stadium. Ashford's 0 for 1. He drops a bunt. Ferguson throws it over to Lopes covering, and that's an out. So 1 out. Tennis and Gamble move up 90, and that'll bring up Fernando Gonzalez, who's 0 for 1. So John trying to work out of a jam here in the 4th. 2 on, 1 out. Struck him out. Ho ho, a 1-2 curve, and Tommy stands tall. And that'll bring up Allman, who's 0 for 1. So Tennis at third, Gamble on second, and now 2 out. In a scoreless game in the top of the 4th. Pitch to Allman is a ground ball to Say, who saves 2 runs. That was deep in the hole. Russell couldn't get there. Say did. Picked it up, threw on the run to Garvey, and got the out. So no runs, 2 hits. The Padres strand 2 more. We go to the bottom of the 4th, no score. Way to go for Ronnie Say, and the old Joe Garagiola thing statement, whoever makes the big play at the one half of the inning is usually the one that makes the big play, ironically, usually is the one that comes to bat first, and Say struck out his first time up. Yet the hottest playoff game in history was a couple years ago at Dodger Stadium. It was 103 degrees in October. Jamie, being a contrarian, likes Memorial Stadium better than Camden Yards. I thought Memorial was great for football. So it's 88 degrees. Say struck out his first time up. Ochenko deals, and there's a liner to center. Thomas ranges over and makes the catch. Yep. 1 out for Garvey, who's 0 for 1. Ochenko's pitch. Line drive to Smith. Ozzy's there, and Harry Potter makes the catch, 2 out. Dusty Baker walked. And to right, Gamble. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors. Ochenko, of all people, holding the Dodgers to 1 hit through 4. After 4, the Padres nothing, the Dodgers nothing. Ochenko singled his first time up. As we start the top of the 5th. This game's flying right by. Yeah, I would agree with that. Less bells and whistles and complexities. OOTP, in my view, is the great baseball what-if machine. You can pretty much build whatever scenario you want. Great for fictional play. I mean, if you want to have the Lord of the Rings League, you can. But as far as simulating historic baseball, no. Pitch to Ochenko. Struck him out. John got him to swing and miss a 1-2 fastball at 84. There's a lot of positives to OOTP. There really are, but I did with a 20 version, I did the complete history of Major League Baseball. You know who won the National League in 1978 in OOTP using as-played lineups and trades and all that? Pitch to Smith, who's going to drop another bunch. Say picks it up, and Ozzie reaches. So through 19 batters, 69 pitches for Tommy John, 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. So that's the 5th hit for the Padres. Here's Thomas. He's 1 for 2. There goes Ozzie, and it's fouled behind the plate. Hit and run was on. Yep, different reasons. Throw to first. Ozzie back. So, just kind of odd since we're doing the 78 season. So, with everything turned on to be realistic, as played lineups and trades and all that, you know who won the 78 National League pennant? Terrell Thomas is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to Russell. Takes it to the bag himself, and there will be no throw to Garvey. So 2 out for Don Reynolds, who's 0 for 2. The New York Mets won the National League in 78. Now, I suppose if you did something 1,000 times, even the Mets would find, the loose peanut in the straw or whatever. Reynolds is 0 for 2, but I just can't buy that. Yep, meet the Mets, greet the Mets. Let's go out and beat the Mets. Pitch to Reynolds is a liner into right field. Lacy will pick it up. Thomas goes to third. And the Padres have runners on the corners and 2 out for Tennis, who has singled and walked. John into center field. Reggie's there, and that will retire the side. And so, halfway home on this hot and sticky Thursday afternoon in Burlington, it's the Padres nothing, the Dodgers nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. So there's nothing on the summary to show you. And Bob Ochinko, who's thrown a one-hitter through 4, is going to have one of those baseball digest games. What's the best game of your career? Well, the time I shut down the Dodgers, but my offense couldn't get me anything. Meanwhile, John, 6 hits through 5. So Lacy will start the 5th. He's 0 for 1. Yeah, I suppose if you sim the season 1,000 times, it could happen, or should happen. Just weird that it happened then. Pitch to Lacy is a fly ball to left field. Reynolds will watch it hit the wall. Lacy's on with a double, and that's the second Dodger hit. Brings up Joe Ferguson, who has the other Dodger hit. The Bad News Bears could win 1 in 1,000. Only if Tatum O'Neal was on the mound. Just keep her away from John McEnroe. Pitch to Fergie. And Ochinko gets the strikeout. A 2-2 fastball. Swung on and missed. 1 out. Ashford and Allman play for the bunt. And Tommy John is going to squeeze. Or bunt. Can't squeeze with a runner on second. So the pitch, it's fair ball. Tennis throws it over to Gonzalez covering, and Lacy moves over to third. 2 out for Lopes. So Ochinko threw 18 batters, 4 2/3 innings, 73 pitches, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. The Mets in 78 were not a good team. And for them to overcome the Pirates and the Phillies takes a lot. I suppose, though, if you ran it 1,000 times, I mean, they're not the 62 Mets bad. Pitch to Lopes is 0 for 2. Ground ball to Gonzalez in the hole. He throws it over to Ashford, and the Dodgers go down in the 5th. They do get another hit. They leave another runner on. After 5, it's still the Padres and the Dodgers scoreless in Los Angeles. So Gamble, Ashford, and Gonzalez to face Tommy John in the 6th. Gamble's 1 for 2. And there's a ground ball in the hole. Garvey has it, and Tommy John forgot to cover the bag. And Gamble reaches with a hit. Unbelievable. John just kind of wandered around the mound, realized that Garvey had the ball and couldn't get there. And so by the time that John took off from the mound, there wasn't anyone there to cover. Wowzers. And that'll bring up Ashford, who's 0 for 1. Can't bunt. Yes, Jamie, they can do real-life lineups and transactions. And in fact, the entire replay I did on that was real-life transactions in whatever years they had lineups for. So what a boo-boo by John. Tommy deals. There's a ground ball to Russell. Lopes for 1. To Garvey for 2. Yes, sir. So Tommy John, the baseball gods hurt, and then the baseball gods help. And whatever it is, there's 2 out, nobody out for Gonzalez. That would not surprise me. Garvey, of course, being a grade A individual, just ask Cindy, would wait to toss to the pitcher instead of taking himself to pad his assist totals. So Gonzalez has struck out once. He's 0 for 2. Right back to John. Flips it over to first, and that will retire the side. So, no runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th. This game's flying by. No score. So Billy Russell's 0 for 1 with a walk. Ochinko's only allowed 2 hits. And that's a base hit into right field. Gamble will fire it in quickly. And Russell's on with a single. Brings up Reggie Smith, who's 0 for 2. Yeah, Garvey really was a media star. Kareem, of course, did some of that. Not manipulation, but to the movie Airplane and stuff like that. When he came out there. But I know I didn't grow up in Southern California, but Garvey really was just a giant name. Not as much as Cal Worthington and his Fords, but you know the drill. Pitched, throw to first, Russell back. In fact, I think Garvey at this point in time was a bigger name than Tommy Lasorda. Pitch to Smith is into center field. Thomas moves over into right center, makes the catch. Russell goes back, and there's 1 out for Say. He was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Say saved a couple of runs earlier, and there's a reason why we are scoreless. And Ochinko has a balk called on him on a 1-1. So Russell trots to second. Ochinko looks to the home plate umpire. Again, Susan DePanceroff, and she says, you got to come to a stop. And Ochinko said, I did. She said, no, you didn't. So the count is a ball and a strike. Yep, I agree, Jamie. Garvey would have been a Hall of Famer if the vote was could have taken place in '87, but he was such a player of his time. And especially with all the offense that came in the 90s and the aughts, it doesn't translate well. You're right. Lorenzo confident 1 run wins the ball game, and he may be right. Pitch to Say is a ground ball to Allman. Looks Russell back to the bag, over across the way to Ashford, and Russell will go to third on the out. So that brings up, speak of the devil, Mr. Garvey, who's 0 for 2. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th, no score. 7 hits for the Padres, 3 for the Dodgers. Ochinko's pitch. There's the run. Base hit, right field. Gamble will pick it up, and the Dodgers break through first, 1-0. Dusty Baker 0 for 1 with a walk. So Garvey gets the RBI. Ochinko's finally touched up into right field. Gamble has it for the out. So a run on 2 hits and no errors. We go to the 7th at Dodger Stadium. It's Los Angeles 1, San Diego 0. And so now John's trying to make this stand up. You don't need to come to a stop if there's nobody on base. Billy Allman's 0 for 2. Allman, probably Ochinko, and Ozzie here in the 7th. Pitch from John struck him out. So Allman looked at a full count, strike 3, and that's 4 for Tommy. See what they do with Ochinko. They might have that on the Kindle, Lorenzo, if you got one of those machines. And Jerry Turner's going to pinch hit for Ochinko. Jerry at 309, 2 homers and 14 RBI. And Turner strikes out. So we got a good morning and a good afternoon. The 2-2 swung on and missed. Fastball right in there. And that brings up Ozzie Smith. 1 for 2 with a strikeout. That hit was a single. You go ahead and tell Gossage he balked, okay? Pitch to the Wizard. There's a ground ball to third. Say over to Garvey, and that will retire the side. Stretch time. Mark Lee coming in. We'll be back. Nancy Dell on the organ, and she's having a Dodger dog made by Farmer John. And you can buy Dodger dogs at your local Vons, Ralph's, and Safeway. And as always, there's a farmer in the Dell. Lee Lacey is 1 for 2 with a double. Mark Lee, almost as good as a Fenway Frank, Lorenzo. Mark Lee reminds me of that guy on the Trailer Park Boys with his glasses, making his 46th appearance. He's 2-2 with a 3.25 ERA. This is his 6th appearance against the Dodgers. 6 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2, and his ERA is 1.42. Against the team from Los Angeles, he pitched 2 nights ago against the Reds. An inning and 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and he struck out 2. So in 63 and 2/3 innings, he's allowed 67 hits, no homers, 29 runs, 23 earned. He's walked 22 and struck out 29, and that fastball is at 86, and he is an extreme ground ball pitcher. So Lacey, Ferguson, and John spot, and I'd imagine Tommy's going to let John go. Lee doubled. He's 1 for 2. I'll have to try my Golden Roads Dodger blonde beer. Pitch to Lacy. Struck him out, so Lee got him to swing and miss a 2-2 fastball. Brings up Ferguson, who was 1 for 2 with a strikeout. So, I know some of the soccer teams in England have breweries right in the stadium. Is that the case? Do they actually make it at Dodger Stadium? Pitch to Ferguson. There's a ground ball to Ashford. Takes it to the bag himself. Nope, for the out. So 2 out for Tommy John, who will bat. His first at-bat of the ball game. He's had a sac bunt twice. So he remains 3 for 38 on the year. Line drive, foul, first base side. Somebody from Fresno made that catch. They had to drop their box of raisins to do it. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch. And there's a ground ball to Ashford. Takes it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. So Lee gets a clean inning in. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 8th. This game is flying right by. 1-0 Dodgers. Don't think it's made at the stadium. Okay. So Darryl Thomas, Don Reynolds, and Gene Tennis. No runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Padres. The Dodgers, 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors, and they've left 5 on. And to kill some time, let's take a look at some leaders, because Jamie always likes this. Dave Parker, hitting .355, leads the National League. Ralph Garr and Ron Carew are hitting .340. That leads the American League. In the home run department, Jim Rice has an 8 home run lead over Larry Heisel. George Foster's hit 26, that leads the National League. RBI, Jim Rice is making his MVP bid and Triple Crown bid. He leads George Foster by 22 and Rusty Staub by 24. Imagine that. Doubles, Jack Clark with 40, Pete Rose with 36. Carlton Fisk leads the American League with 34. Triples, Gene Richards with 15. He leads the National League. He's not in this game. And Jim Rice leads the American League with 10. Speed, LaFleur with 50, and Moreno with 46. Thomas 1 for 3 with a single. And there's a ground ball to Garvey. Takes it to first himself for the out. Golden Road was the largest producer of craft beer in Los Angeles until it sold to Anheuser-Busch. Yeah, one of our local breweries has been sold, and production will move from Vermont to Rochester, New York. At the same place they make Genesee. Don Reynolds is 1 for 3. In there because John is a lefty. And Reynolds can hit lefties. Line drive, foul, third base side. Somebody from Anaheim makes the catch. Full count from John. A fact you certainly would not hear on a Fortnite stream for sure. There's a base hit left field. So the tying run is on for Tennis. 1 for 2. He is singled and walked. Ferguson and John try to get on the same page. They change a couple signs around, and Tennis slaps that one into left field. So the Padres have the go-ahead run at second, or the tying run rather at second, and the go-ahead run on first for Gamble. And again, that pen is rather thin. But Terry Forster will come in, making his 30th appearance of the year. He is 2-2 with 12 saves, with a 2.67 ERA. Against the Padres, this is his 7th time out there. 6 1/3 innings, 2 hits. A run it was not earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2 and has 2 saves. Wife leaving for work. His last appearance was against the Giants on the 4th. An inning, a hit, and a strikeout. So 33 2/3 innings, 27 hits, 13 runs, 10 earned. He's walked 10 and struck out 18. He is an extreme ground ball pitcher, and the fastball tops out at 91, and you would figure, since Lopes is leading off the bottom of the 8th, that this is Forster's game. So runners on first and second for Gamble. Oh boy. And we say, fare thee well to Happy Dog GTA for the spam. Got a BLT for once, by the way. Yep. Pitch to Gamble is a ground ball foul, first base side. 1-2 the count. Forster up the middle, a base hit. Reynolds will round third to tie the ball game. Tennis is on third, and we're tied at 1. I'd rather be famous from my own and not have to buy followers. Just saying. Tucker Ashford's 0 for 2 and is grounded into a double play. The Dodgers could use one right now. Forster delivers. Popped up left side. It will not score tennis. Russell on the grass for the out, and there's 2 away. So that brings up Fernando Gonzalez. With 2 out. Fernando is 0 for 3. Here's the pitch from Forster to Russell. A fantastic stop in the hole. Flips to Lopes, and that will retire the side. So the Padres get a run on 3 hits and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Padres 1, the Dodgers 1. So Lopes is 0 for 3. Russell and Smith to follow. And if anybody should reach, Ronnie Say. No bunt here. Lopes swings. Ground ball to Smith. Over to Ashford. And it goes 6-3 on the card. 1 out for Russell, who has the lone Dodger run. He singled and scored in the 6th. Garvey brought him home. Pitch from Lee. Into left center, Thomas for the out. Now 83 degrees here in Los Angeles, and as has been the case the entire game, not a breath of wind. Reggie 0 for 3. Allman pitcher spot, and Smith in the 9th for the Padres. Ball 4. So the go-ahead run is on for Say, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. First runner allowed by Mark Lee, who's gone an inning and 2/3. Pitch to Say, and that's a balk. So another balk is called on San Diego, and Mark Lee says a few unkind words, and so the go-ahead run is now in scoring position. Here's the pitch, and there's a little looper right field. Gamble's got it. Smith will score from second. The Padres bench is absolutely incensed, and it's 2-1 Los Angeles. And this crowd of 40,000 is up on their feet. And that'll bring up Garvey, who's 1 for 3, single and RBI. Can't show you the balk again, but the Padres were convinced it was not. And Big Clue says it's right. Maybe they should be incensed about their teammates leaving 9 men on base. Yep. Lorenzo's been removed from the premises after he assaulted a Red Sox fan. I hope the Red Sox play the Dodgers in the World Series and sweep them. Now the Red Sox, of course, are 8.5 games. Assault. That's right, assault. Pitch to Garvey is a ground ball to Ashford. He'll underhand it to Lee, and that will retire the side, but the balk looms large. We go to the 9th. It's the Dodgers 2, the Padres 1. You poured a beer on me. I don't even drink. So Allman, who was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Yeah, I do remember that. It was 87, actually. And every game there was like 1 or 2. I'm sure that the cool and calm minds of Earl Weaver and Tommy Lasorda just loved how that was called. So Allman, pitcher spot, and Ozzie Smith to face Forster, who's looking for his 3rd win of the year. Pitch to Allman is a ground ball left side. Russell got a late dive on it, couldn't make the play, and the tying run's already on. We all have our adjustment periods. So Mark Lee is not going to hit here, I would imagine. And that'll bring Dave Roberts, hitting .324, a homer, and 7 RBI. If the Dodgers come to the plate in the 9th, Baker, Lacey, and Ferguson. Pitch to Roberts, ball 4. And so the tying run is now in scoring position for Ozzie Smith. Ozzie's 1 for 3. Singled and struck out. They're going to play for the bunt. Garvey and Say come in. Ferguson and Forster trying to get on the same page. Terry deals. Ground ball to Lopes. Might be 2. Russell for 1. No throw to first. So they get 1 runner. But the tying run is now at 3rd. But Ozzie Smith, they could double up. Here's Daryl Thomas. He's 1 for 4. Forster deals. There goes the Wizard. Russell throws it to first. And they get somebody. No, they got Ozzie at second. So the run will score. Russell underhand to Lopes, but we're tied at 2. And so it was hit too hard to be a double play ball. They had a 1% chance of doing it. They tried, but Lopes couldn't get it out in time. And so Thomas is on first, 2 out for Reynolds. And so Forster just not there. Billy Allman really was the first overall pick in the 74 draft. Over Dale Murphy, Lonnie Smith, Lance Parrish, Rick Sutcliffe, and Gary Templeton. And that's just the first rounders. Yeah, the Allman card isn't great. However, because it's the Padres, that was the year that they were going to move to D.C. And so there were the Washington National League things for the Padres. Buzzy Bavasi did lose his touch after leaving the Dodgers, for sure. So the go-ahead run is on first for Reynolds, who's had a pretty good ball game. He's 2 for 4. Singled twice and scored. Ground ball foul, first base side. And the count moves to 0-2. Dodgers do have some power coming up. Pitch to Reynolds. There goes Thomason at strike 3. So the side is retired. 1 run. The tying run. 1 hit and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Yep, Bill, the M's GM. Yep. So San Diego 2, Los Angeles 2, and Shirley adjust. Here's Bob Shirley, making his 25th appearance of the year. He's normally a starter, but he only has 1 more start on the card, so he'll work out of the pen the rest of the way for the Padres. He is 8-6 with a 3.34 ERA. Against the Dodgers, he made 1 start in his 2nd relief appearances right now. 6 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, just 1 earned. He has walked 1 and struck out 6 and is 1-0. So his last outing was last night against the Reds. He went an inning, allowed a run, it was earned, and struck out 1. So in 121 1/3 innings, he's allowed 99 hits, 7 homers, 55 runs, 45 are earned. He's walked 47 and struck out 72. It'll be Baker, Lacy, and Ferguson to face Shirley. Baker is 0 for 2 with a walk. Shirley deals. Ball 4, so the winning run is on for Lee Lacy, who was 1 for 3 with a double and a strikeout. 2 runs, 11 hits, no errors. The Padres have left 10 runners on. The Dodgers, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and they've left 6 runners on. Ashford and Allman hug the lines in a no-doubles defense. Ball 4. And so Ferguson at the plate, nobody out, and the winning run standing on second base. So Ferguson will swing away here. Even a double play would put Baker on third. Pitch to Ferguson into left field. Reynolds will make the catch and drop the ball. He dropped the ball. And the bases are loaded and nobody out. He went to the track. I don't know what in the world happened. He went to put up the glove. It glanced off the side of his glove. And the Dodgers have them loaded with nobody out. And here comes Manny Mota to win the ball game. He is 7 for 21 on the year with an RBI. So Don Reynolds will be going down the I-5 wearing goat horns. Maybe. Nobody out. I've never seen one in this game, Big Clue. Never seen a triple play. I doubt you get one here. The infield playing in. The outfield playing in. Lorenzo. Enough. Pitch to Mota. Ground ball, base hit. Dodgers win. So Fernando Gonzalez couldn't get there. Dusty Baker claps his hands and scores. And the Dodgers win this one 3-2. Manny Mota walks it off. So Terry Forster blew it twice and gets the win. An inning and 2/3, 2 hits, a run, it was earned. Bob Shirley takes a tough loss, gives up a hit, the unearned run, and the 2 walks. And so our Digital Dice MVP will be Dusty Baker. He walked and scored the winning run, and surely I am serious. So 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. 2 runs, 11 hits, and an error for the Padres. And so the Dodgers, for the moment, move up to 4 games out in front. Lorenzo doing his best impression of a Philadelphia fan here. It's a light crowd as far as other games are concerned. The Orioles beat the Blue Jays 3-2. Danny Martinez goes to 13-9. Rick Dower hits his 3rd of the year. The Cubs beat the Pirates 2-1 at Wrigley. Willie Hernandez goes to 3-1. Rodney Scott goes 2 for 4. Cincinnati beats Atlanta 3-2. Thank you, sir. So there is no ground gained or lost by anybody in the National League West. Doug Bear goes to 5-3. Ken Griffey 3 for 4 with a 6th home run and 2 RBI. Minnesota beats Seattle 8-7. Mike Marshall goes to 3-3. Shane Raleigh takes a loss. Dan Meyer 4 for 4. Pittsburgh does not lose any ground. St. Louis beats Philadelphia 5-4. Pete Falcone goes to 2-6. And Bob Boone with his 9th of the year in a losing effort drives in 3. Kansas City beats the White Sox 6-2. Dennis Leonard, a 17-game winner in the replay. Pete Lecoq, 3 for 4 with 2 RBI. And California in 10 beats Oakland 2-1. LaRoche goes to 10-3. Ron Fairley with a homer. Wow. Steve Garvey's support his first year in the ballot was 41.6%. And he never got in. All right. No, that's the button I want. Golf tonight, 7 Eastern. The all-time great United States Open from Winged Foot. Jack Nicklaus, Bobby Jones, and Tiger Woods are your featured threesome this evening. Standings, Philadelphia leads Pittsburgh by 3. The Dodgers lead over the Reds, remains 3.5. The Orioles and the Yankees are tied at 63 and 47. Milwaukee, 61 and 46, a half game back. Kansas City and Texas are tied at 60 and 48. California, 2 back. And the fact that Garvey was just never a happy player. So tomorrow at noon, it's the Yankees and the Brewers. Noon Eastern. Yeah, the Red Sox have just had a terrible year. So the Yankees and Brewers at noon. And then next week, Tuesday, the Orioles and the Royals. Wednesday, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. And Thursday, Milwaukee and Boston, but that could change. I see San Francisco, Los Angeles. I see Cincinnati, San Diego. I see New York and Baltimore. So golf tonight. Join us at 7. Bobby Jones, Tiger Woods, and Jack Nicklaus from Winged Foot. Until then, we'll talk to you later.